John had been visiting his wife's grave every day for the past year. He was inconsolable after her sudden death, and going to the cemetery was his way of coping with the loss. He would sit by her grave, talk to her, and sometimes even bring her favorite flowers. But something strange was happening in the cemetery lately. John started noticing things that he couldn't explain. It started with small things like flowers being moved or missing from the grave. But soon, John began hearing strange noises coming from the cemetery at night. He would hear footsteps and whispers, but when he went to investigate, he found nothing. One night, John decided to stay in the cemetery after dark. He wanted to find out what was happening and put his mind at ease. As he was walking through the rows of graves, he noticed something strange about his wife's grave. The ground looked disturbed, like someone had been digging around it. John's heart raced as he got closer to the grave. Suddenly, he heard a voice behind him say, "She's not resting in peace, you know." John turned around and saw a woman standing behind him. She was pale, with dark circles under her eyes, and she looked like she hadn't slept in days. "Who are you?" John asked, taking a step back. "I'm the caretaker," the woman said, "and I know what's been happening in this cemetery." "What do you mean?" John asked, his heart racing. "There's something strange going on here," the caretaker said, "something that shouldn't be happening. Your wife's grave is just the beginning. There have been reports of other graves being disturbed, of strange noises and movements at night. I think there's something evil in this cemetery." John felt a chill run down his spine. He knew there was something strange happening, but he never thought it could be something evil. "What can we do?" John asked, hoping the caretaker had some answers. "We need to find out what's causing this," the caretaker said, "and put an end to it. I have a theory about what's happening, but it's dangerous, and I can't do it alone. I need your help." John knew he had to do something to put his wife's spirit to rest and to stop whatever was happening in the cemetery. He agreed to help the caretaker, even though he didn't know what he was getting himself into. The two of them spent the next few nights patrolling the cemetery, looking for any signs of activity. One night, they heard strange chanting coming from a nearby grave. They approached the grave, and what they found was beyond their wildest nightmares. A group of people dressed in black robes were gathered around the grave, holding candles and chanting in a language John didn't recognize. In the center of the group was a woman, her eyes closed, her body trembling. She was possessed by some dark force, and the group was trying to bring something back from the dead. John and the caretaker watched in horror as the woman began convulsing violently. Suddenly, the ground beneath the grave began